You talk about your hangover after the crash. Sorry, it wasn't an accident. What happened before you got into the car, as you haven't addressed the event leading up to getting behind the wheel? Did you really only have one goblet?
Let's break this question down a bit. Hi, I'm Hollie Serrano, and welcome to episode 4 of Abruptly Authentic. I feel like a lot of you have been talking about this episode because I have opened up the question gate and I am ready to put up my royal dukes, thus the gloves. I know that some of these questions are difficult and I just think I need to be prepared. Over 1,000 questions. So thank you. It's a lot. And because it's so many, my team and coworkers have taken so much time to look through them. So I want you to know that even if we don't answer something, you were not seen. It's just impossible to answer over 1,000 questions in this amount of time. So thank you again. I'm very much just grateful for you. And I am ready to talk, I guess answer. All right, so let's go. First up is Julie. And I'll tell you what, after all the questions that you posted, I feel like you should be a reporter. For real. You could have yourself a good career going there. Lots of questions with Julie. Julie, over 80 likes to all of your questions at the last check. So I'm ready. And what does Julie have to say?
You talk about your hangover after the crash. Sorry, it wasn't an accident. What happened before you got into the car, as you haven't addressed the event leading up to getting behind the wheel? Did you really only have one goblet?
Let's break this question down a bit, or questions, I should say. I'm going to begin with the goblet. No, I did not only have one goblet. There were several goblets, if that's what we're calling drinks that day. The events leading up to it, I was drinking early on Thanksgiving. The parade was happening. I was already, pretty much enjoying cocktails before. My family's Thanksgiving starts really early. We eat in the afternoon. So I went to Thanksgiving and I found myself sneaking drinks, and then I would have drinks in front of my family because wine was poured at dinner and things like that. So I really drank throughout the course of the entire day. Let's dive in a little deeper to this one. The root cause of my drinking was not to just get shit-faced. It was to cope. And things like holidays and stressful relationships, any kind of stress for that matter, I used alcohol to cope. And I found myself in a situation that Thanksgiving, probably one of my worst, as far as just the walls were caving in. They really were. So I was mind erasing, so to speak, during the entire day, hiding all the things so that I could become numb and not think.
When did your contract exactly expire at WKYC, since you claim you were fired?
I can't comment on that.
As a person in the news media business, you didn't think your police report would make the news? They're a public record and reported on in the media daily.
It's true. They are. I don't think anyone really thinks of what the ramifications could be when you're in the state that I was. So, yes, I'm in the news media. And I was also, don't forget, at that point, focusing so much on getting better. It was at the very start of my journey in those first couple weeks. So, yes and no.
You entered therapy, but not rehab. Why?
First, rehab and therapy really go hand in hand. You get to pick that. And I chose the journey I did, knowing that I would need daily, intensive, hard work therapy. So I chose therapy.
Have you had other DUIs, or was this your first?
I have not had any other DUIs. This was my first and last.
Do you plan on going back to TV on air?
I don't know what the future holds for me exactly, but I can promise you it's going to be a big success.
Cats or dogs? Which one do you like?
I'm a dog mom.
What is your favorite color?
Blue like the ocean in the sky.
What is your favorite part about being a mom?
Being a mom. I love it. And I have the 2 best kids.
What's your favorite condiment?
Mayonnaise.
Do you have an OnlyFans?
No. And I will never have an OnlyFans. What do you think this is?
What is one thing you hated about being a weather girl?
Being called a weather bunny.
What's with the lip liner?
I love lip liner. That's what's with the lip liner.
So Laura asks, why do you post daily pictures of yourself? If you are truly trying to help others, why not post pictures of inspirational thoughts, calming pictures of nature, or maybe just some cute animal pictures?
Laura, I do these things. I do. And when I say things, I post quotes and I post animal. Have you not met my cute dogs? You've had to see at least Otis. He jumps on my counter and drinks water out of the sink. I have posted him several times. The other thing is that, it is indeed my social. And I find it very normal to post pictures of yourself on your social. I don't think that there is anything strange about that.
Do you ever take pictures without makeup? Seems like every picture, including hospital stays, you have heavy makeup and lip liner on. Do you feel the need to take pictures of yourself daily? Maybe instead of daily pictures, post inspirational quotes or beautiful nature pictures to lift people up.
Denise, we're talking about makeup, and makeup, no makeup, red hair, brown hair, gray hair, blonde hair. So, whatever makes you feel good, right? So, Denise, you do you, and I do me. And what the heck is the problem, right? I feel like there are so many bigger problems in this world than if I pile loads of makeup on with emphasis on lip liner compared to someone that doesn't want to wear any. I'm not judging that either. So it's just makeup. That's all. At the end of the day, it's just makeup.
What is your favorite thing about Cleveland?
It's my hometown. So, I take pride in that. And I love the 4 seasons.
What is the secret recipe in your family's secret sauce?
It's a secret sauce for a reason. I will never tell.
What is your favorite restaurant?
I like so many things. All right. Nito's if it's Italian. Five Guys if I'm getting a burger. Is that considered a restaurant? I know it's kind of fast food. Marble Room. Special occasion.
Did you end up breaking up with the funeral parlor guy?
Did I ever? He's gone.
What is your least favorite thing about Cleveland?
Snow on December 26th and after.
Where do you set your thermostat?
67.
Are you in any relationships?
I am not in a relationship. I love myself, though.
Did you go to a treatment facility?
I did not go to a treatment facility, no.
How did you sober up quickly? Someone who has drinking problems since high school should be in a rehab or treatment facility, but you kicked it by getting vitamin infusions?
I did not kick it by getting vitamin infusions. Nutraceuticals on my journey, yes, that's subject matter for another show. But, you know, Holly, what happened to me November 23rd of 2023 was so horrific and traumatic that I did indeed stop drinking immediately after that. I knew once I sobered up that I would never drink again. But that being said, there is the hangover of the hard work and recovery that follows the decision I made. And I am working really, really hard day by day. It's a journey, and I'm still on it.
Why are you suing WKYC a year later? You should have lost your job when it happened.
Well, the answer to that question is very easy to find. You can find them in the court documents that have been filed publicly.
Diane asks, why subject yourself to such obvious haters that only have an agenda to try and hurt you for their own trolling needs?
Well, the trolls are always going to be there. That I know, because it's been my whole life. But I have to say, I mean, you're on my social. I wish that you could be with me when I go to the grocery store and have such positive experiences with people and hug and swap stories and hear all kinds of wonderful things about how they have become stronger in their own journeys because of me sharing mine. Then I learn about them, and that's so cool. So sometimes I wish you were able to see all that. And the other thing I want to say about the trolls is, you know, it's all what you focus on. So if I were to turn this into a pie graph, the amount of positivity on that pie is a heck of a lot more than the negative part of the pie. So I focus on the positive because that's what's best for me mentally. I'm not going to go down some rabbit hole and take that little sliver of pie that is not only negative, but redundant, very redundant. So that's why.
Earl says, hi Holly, what has been the hardest as well as the easiest parts of your sobriety journey?
Well, Earl, the easiest part of that was making the decision to never drink again because of how horrible it had gotten. And of course, culminating in the accident. So that part was easy to say, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. It does not serve me. It's not helping me, clearly, making my life worse, and rock bottom then happened. The hardest part for me is learning how to manage emotions and cope and do things that I would have normally done using alcohol as a means of, you know, taking the edge off or not having to be stressed about just everyday life problem. That's really hard. And I'm doing it completely sober now.
Have you ever been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder?
I have not been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. No.
What is your favorite brand of lip liner?
Oh, some of you like it, don't you? Revlon.
Are you married?
I am not married.
What is your ideal weather?
Sunny and 70.
Will you be moving to another state soon?
Nope. You're stuck with me.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird. Asleep by 8 p.m.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
To own an invisible jet like Wonder Woman has and be able to fly all over the place without being seen.
Is it true you had 3 DUIs?
Where is this stuff coming from? No, it's not true. I had 1.
JDF 1966 says, now that the band-aid of drinking is off, do you find yourself surprised as to what some of the root causes of the behavior that led up to your abrupt authenticity?
Oh my gosh, so surprised. So surprised at what led me to find root cause to my drinking to cope, because I just thought, okay, I have to do this. I want to get better. And my first therapy visit, I had, or maybe it was my second, probably second. First was assessing me and things like that. So second or third visit, we'll call it. And I had something called EMDR, which is a topic for another day. But in that session, something came out that was buried somewhere really, really, really deep in my brain. And I remember sitting in my therapist's office at the time and thinking that, okay, we're going to do this EMDR thing and I'm going to probably be talking about alcohol. And that was not what came out of my mouth as we dove into the depths of me. It was a shock. It was a shock. And it's what finally has put me on a journey that has helped me the most.
So Kurt asks, how has your drinking impacted your personal relationships with family and former spouses? And have you apologized in person to the people you impacted that night and made reparations for damages?
Kurt, there is no question that my drinking impacted my relationships. I mean, how does it not? And the hard thing about that is taking responsibility. It's hard. And it's hard to realize that so much of that was, because of me. It made me sad. It still makes me sad. It really does. And that's part of the process. I mean, in recovery, I continue to learn to heal, to heal and make myself stronger. And as far as atoning, yes. And I've had numerous conversations and it feels so good to say I'm sorry, to have conversations with people that were hurt, not physically, but were hurt because of the ramifications of my drinking.
Almost all alcoholics fall off the wagon at some point. What's the plan to make any slips as short as possible?
I have a team, thank goodness, and couldn't do this by myself. I'm doing the work, but I couldn't do it by myself. And I think that I don't even like saying that could happen, but I'm well aware that this is a daily journey. And I guess the beauty of recovery and having a, attitude of, I want to overcome this. You start again. You're not, we all make mistakes. I don't want to make that mistake ever again. But if, God forbid, I did, I'd start again. Well, that was fun, I think. I have to say thank you. Over 1,000 questions. That's really a lot. And I don't even, that could be more at this point. So, and that's only on the one post that I'm talking about. So thank you. And I meant to bring this up earlier. I want to say how grateful I am for those of you that said on the Ask Me a Question post, I don't have a question for you. I just want to applaud you for your bravery and for having a voice, and you're inspiring me. Thank you for that. We focus on the negative so much, and I think we're all guilty of it at times. And I talked about this just a few moments ago. There's so much more positive than negative in my comments. So thank you. All right. I could take off these finally. And episode 5, I'm sitting down with my sister. So it's going to be a fun one. Our first little family, Abruptly Authentic. And maybe you've seen her on my social, and maybe not. Maybe you didn't even know I had a sister. Well, you're going to get to meet her.
Enough of those. If Voldemort offered you a hug, would you accept?
I love hugs. Why not? I would make him nice. Okay? Even he needs a hug.